not in a very good place. Because I had just had like a severe corona thing where they didn't know if I was going to get alive out of the hospital. And I have always seen myself as the Superman. Nothing can stop me. It's like, try to kill me and I will still survive. It's like, that's who I've been in my core. And suddenly you're in that situation and kind of your world falls apart, right? I lost 15 kilos of muscles in a month and a half. Afterwards, I could not train. I started to gain body fat like crazy. I went to the gym. I had to sleep for 1-2 hours afterwards. I could not recognize what was going on. So I had to like really push the reset button. What is it that is going on? Why is my body not responding? And going down the rabbit hole in a way that I have never done before. And I just told Stigana, actually at the gym yesterday, I beat my record in one of the exercises that I have done for many, many years. I haven't been at that level since I think I was 35 or 38. So it's like, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And the mentality of what I think is like in our space, since Forever is one of the biggest health companies in the world and one of the most respected health companies in the world, shouldn't we start with ourselves? Shouldn't I be a reflection of my products? Shouldn't I actually live in a way so that my team goes, wow? Shouldn't I go so that my family and friends go, wow? I met actually just 2 weeks ago a network marketing guy from Sweden in another company that has done a life-changing journey on his own health. His whole business, and he's making, which I double checked, he's making between 12 and 14,000 US dollars a month. It's all based on his journey. Going from a shit place to a fantastic place. Yeah. And I think that's the easiest way and the happiest way and the best way you can build your business.
Exactly.
It's like, put yourself as number one. Don't take that fucking sales calls before your workout. Don't set yourself on the second place. Put yourself in the first seat. I have been so close to so many superstar athletes from all over the world. And the thing they have in common is that they have a goal, whatever that goal is, like win the Olympics or be the world champion or beat the world record or something. And what they have in common, all of them, that there is nothing that is going to take them away from that path. Nothing. And when they do that, they at the same time work on this, right?
Yeah.
And they work on this because the body and the mind goes together. Of course, can you succeed without putting yourself in the first seat? Of course. But isn't it nicer to get to that like destination where you want to go in your best shape of your life? Where your kids go, wow.
Yeah.
Not only because of the wallet, but because of your health.
Yeah.
Not only because of the car, because of what you did on your personal journey. That is the biggest and the most effective impact you can have on your business. I have one manager in my organization, a young lady, and she did a journey on her own body because after a pregnancy, she was, it's kind of hard, am I standing outside? Or? She got pretty big, and then she decided to really change, and she got full throttle into it, and she really changed her appearance, she changed her energy, she changed everything. She did not recruit one single person because she didn't want to, and I had to respect that. I said, I don't understand how you think. Everybody's not lucky when they think, but you know, you do what you do. But she sold her way to manager based on her health journey. And she was making on like selling the products, if you see like her retail profit, She was making between 7 and 8,000 grand a month. 8,000 grand a month selling products, not bad. She was probably working 4 times as much as if she would have recruited people that would actually do what she was doing and do the network marketing style. But she was so focused on the sales process, and there was nothing in the world I could do to change that. And when you see things like that, it really shifts what's going on. I've the first slap in the face I got was actually 2010. As some of you guys know, that I wrote a book called Health in a Nutshell. And it was like a 4 or 5 year journey to write the book together with my colleague and dear friend Bo Detno, the medical doctor. And we did that Health in a Nutshell kind of like without a publishing company. We did everything ourselves, the layout. We hired a ghostwriter to synchronize our text, the sales process. I mean, the whole shebang we did ourselves. And that week when I had actually sent out, I was standing like 8, 9, 10 nights in a row, manually sending out all the books and like writing like the fucking addresses and then getting on to like typing them in and printing etiquettes and sending these, like, I think we had pre-sold 3,000 books, 2,500 books or something. Oh, God. So it was like 24/7. And then the last shipment got away Friday morning at 8 o'clock. And then that same Friday, I drove to Gothenburg because we had like a key meeting or something at the castle. That same night, I ended up in the hospital. Yeah. There was actually nothing wrong with me. I mean, I thought there was something wrong with me, but I hadn't slept for basically a week. I was just pushing it. I said, I can handle that, no problem. Fuck that. Just give me coffee. Just give me some like healthy shit to eat and drink, and I go. And I collapsed. And that was just like, they just put me on observation, and you know, nothing had happened more than just total exhaustion. But when you see when shit like that happen, how much nicer wouldn't it have been to be in that situation and feeling like the top of the world, instead of spending the night at the hospital? So when we go towards our destination, we have to really think, am I putting myself in the front seat? Do I take care of myself first before I take care of my customers and my clients? And no matter if it's like the sales process with the products, or the process when we come to recruiting and follow-up and teaching and coaching and all that, put yourself first. What the hell happened when the oxygen mask goes down when there's emergency in the plane? Do you start walking around and give everybody else them first? No, you put them on yourself first. So you have to put yourself in the front seat. So if there's nothing else, then you take with you from today, because what I'm talking about is like how you can live longer, feel better, and be around in the company for a longer time, instead of working yourself till you're dead. There is no pride in that, and we have seen that happen over and over and over again in different companies and different situations and all that. So it's so important to put yourself up in that pedestal. You don't know how aggressively angry, bitchy I have been to my organization. You do not show up in my fucking meeting with a cigarette. You do not fucking show up in my meeting with a goddamn Coke in your hand. If you're gonna be a health provider, you live your product. But I said, shut the fuck up. This is how we do the business. Maybe I make less money, but I'm honest, and I care about your health. And I want everybody to understand that this is serious shit. This is so serious that we put ourselves first. Which thing do you think is like, out of the health perspective, is the number one thing you can do that beats everything else out of a health perspective? The number one thing that affects your health more than anything else. Which one?
Mindset.
No?
Sleep.
No? What? Walk. Walk. I mean, if we're not paralyzed, we walk. No, exercise. Exercise. Walking is not exercising, that's moving. There's nothing that, according to all research in the world right now, there's nothing that's going to affect your health more than exercise. Out of a longevity perspective, out of an energy perspective, out of an immune system perspective, out of a pain perspective, that's how it is, right? And then I put my question to myself, do I exercise on a daily basis? Good question, huh? Then, of course, the food is super important. And everybody thinks, well, what about the products? I want to sell products. But there's a reason why it's called supplements. Because it supplements your daily eating habits. It's not your eating habit that is the supplements. The food is the number one. So if shit goes in here, shit goes in here, right? And some of that shit won't come out there. It's going to stay in here. We can rinse and we can do stuff. Yeah. But if I eat good, then the effect of my supplements is going to be even better. So take care of your temple, because your body is your temple. It is as simple as that. And then when you do that, then you're gonna put your products on a higher pedestal, because you're gonna see the bigger effect on them. You're gonna see the bigger value of them. You're gonna have it easier to argue about it, because you know inside out how the heck these things are working. How many of you guys are working with DX4? How many of you guys are working with DX4 with a combination of C9 right after? Good. If you do that, if we look at like the trends that goes on in health right now, I think it's like, I had like this mind-blowing experience this morning because I was in a seminar where they are talking about how artificial intelligence are affecting education and knowledge. So 10 years ago, we kind of knew what was coming, like, pretty soon I can using AI to be like my personal assistant. But now we are basically saying, you should be the personal assistant to your AI. Because it's increasing in knowledge in a speed that we do not understand. I just told Stig-Arne, since right now I have a project for the US market where I'm working with niche in the health sector that is men with erectile dysfunction. So men that doesn't work down there for some reason, no matter if it's like mentally, or if it's because hormonal, or if it's because circulation. So we have built up like a program for that, and we market it to the US market. And we have been like, me and a colleague, we've been collecting like, education around this, all the knowledge, and we have done seminars, and we have presentations and documentations, and we've been like busting our butts for 4 months to put everything together, and we launched it like 2 weeks ago. So today, after my AI seminar this morning at 5 o'clock, I go into chat, what do you call Chat GPT 4, which is like the version that is like on the highest level right now. And I type in my prompt question. Like, I knew what I was going to ask because now I'm in the space of erectile dysfunction. So I basically wrote, I want to write a book about erectile dysfunction and how the mind affects that problem and all the facts around that. Clicked search. 5 minutes later, I just made a book of erectile dysfunction and how the mind affects it on 224 pages in 5 minutes. When I wrote my book between 2005 2010, it was... Now, of course, you're going to have to go in and edit and change, but basically it was there. So when it comes to health these days, if you go in and search on longevity or cancer or cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, or I mean, don't tell me that the information is not out there. We just have to know who can I trust. Yes. So we have to be very resourceful when it comes to finding the sources of the information. We have seen now, for example, that the whole world has done like a 360 after the COVID. I mean, how many people of the top authorities didn't stand and say in 2021, 2022, just get your shot and you will not get affected. You will be safe. And now we are basically saying, oh, I guess we don't need that anymore because I guess it didn't work as we said. Oh. The problem was the information was already out there when the COVID started. But we were so lazy that we watched the news and watched the newspaper. The other because that was the reason why that information came out. And what we have to understand is like how the food industry works. I'm not going to go into the COVID stuff. I just took that as an example. If you look at the food industry and then you look at the pharmaceutical industry, it's the same companies that owns the food industry that owns the pharmaceutical companies. The perfect scenario for those two systems is that you are overweight, probably has a little cardiovascular problem, high blood pressure and shit like that, probably type 2 diabetes, a little sleep problem, a little energy problem, mood problem, a digestive problem, immune system failures, and so on. You're a perfect candidate for the food industry, and because now you're addicted to the shit that you eat, that's going to put you in the hospital, to the doctor, that's going to prescribe you something that is going to lower the symptoms so that you're good enough to continue your lifestyle of eating the shit that is going to kill you one way or the other. And what you are actually doing is sponsoring the food industry and sponsoring the pharmaceutical industry. That's basically what's going on. That's how 90% of the Western world lives today. And I want forever to be freaking fucking different.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
That we take that step, we make that difference for ourselves, for our families, for our customers, for our organization. Because we got the tools. We have the knowledge. We have a system. And why did I start with forever with the products like in 1999 actually? That was because I saw they freaking worked.
Yeah.
Why did I start later on with a business? Because I saw people were successful and I saw where I was at working. I mean, I was doing my passion. I was working with like a speaker at Wimbledon, working with Olympic athletes, working with sports federations and running a fitness club and you know, that was my hobby. I was living my dream. I was just spending time with my toys. Are you with me? Like that was my playground. But there was one thing I was missing. I did not have time for my kids. I was always traveling, always out. And the increasingly bad conscience of never being home. And when I finally saw that the company that I was buying the products from, that they had a business system that actually I could use as a leverage of making the same money, because I didn't have a dream of making more money. That was not on my radar. For me, the freedom was time. I wanted to spend time with my family and do whenever, whatever, and however I wanted. That was my being rich. And from I started my forever business till I was at my goal, it took 7 months, even though I already worked 70, 80 hours a week. I just took every coffee break, every lunch break, every time I traveled, because I was working in Copenhagen at that time too. So every time I was going somewhere, I was just like using the phone to book meetings. And then every coffee break and every lunch break and every travel break, I was putting in meetings to build my business.
Yep.
I didn't have anywhere to put people in a business presentation because I didn't have time to run them myself. Because I was in Stockholm 2 days a week, I was in Copenhagen 4 days a week, and the rest of the time in Helsingborg. So I was just going back and forward like crazy. And my dream was just to get the freedom. And guess what? And the reason why I tell this story is that when you have freedom of time, you have even bigger freedom to take care of your health. What did I do this morning? I trained. I was actually missing one person at the paddle court, and that was Kim. Kim Paddle Madsen, you were not at the paddle court.
One of my talents.
Exact, only one of your talents. Now, I'm one of the lucky few that have played paddle with Kim and Sophie.
Yeah, you learned from that.
Exactly, I learned a lot from that. Exactly. That's how I excelled on my skills with the racket and the ball. No, but it's like to have the freedom of going to the paddle court in the morning, or I go to the gym, or we go out hiking or whatever, come back and have breakfast at like 11, 12 o'clock, take a shower, and then take a nap or work or whatever, how your day look like. But it has to be accordingly to what you want to succeed in, right? And that is the biggest issue, I think, with mindset, is when we look in the mirror and how we see ourselves. How can you reach your best at the closest time when you look in the mirror? What are the action steps if you want to reach your destination and be vibrant, healthy, and like a freaking fucking, Tarzan or Jane? Right? How can I get there? Well, I need to take the action steps of how, this is where I am, this is where I'm going. You know what, I think I've told you this story before, but actually in 1999, the same year as I actually tried the product from Forever the first time, I met a guy from Estonia called Gert Kanto the first time, because he was having a meeting with my close friend and colleague at that time, Westin Hafsteinsson, which is today probably one of the best coaches in the world when it comes to athletics or track and field. Friidrett. Yep. At that time, he was taking on new athletes, and this guy, 21-year-old Estonian guy, came to him together with his manager. And the kid said to Westin said, "So why are you here?" "Well, I want to have you as a coach." And then he said, "A lot of people want to have me as a coach, but why should I coach you? You're not even top 10 in the world for juniors. It's like, you're not even on my radar, so why should I coach you?" I said, "Because I'm willing to do what it takes." "What do you mean?" And he basically said, "Well, I'm going to win the Olympics in 2008. And Westin goes, "Wait a minute. We have a 2004 Olympics." "Yeah, but that's too early for me. I know I'm going to be at my peak at 2008. "Are you the coach who's going to bring me the gold medal in 2008? So Westin recognized his mental talent, right? That he was dedicated to the process. And so he was living in Tallinn, but he was like every second week he was in Helsingborg training with Westin. So I was meeting this guy all the time. And during this time period, they were probably 10, 15 different athletes that was coming and leaving this group of super talents that Westin was coaching. But he was the only one who never failed a workout. When he was newly engaged and they were going for 1 month training camp to the States, he told his girlfriend, "You have to stay home because you're going to be a distraction on the training camp." When you tell your fiance that she's a distraction, you know you have your mind pretty focused on where you're going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they made a 9-year plan. They broke it down to a 5-year plan, a 4-year plan. They broke it down to a quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, morning, afternoon, evening plan. What to eat, how much to sleep, what supplements to take. Not by like let's try something. No. You go to the best freaking professor in the world and do your blood work, and then we see exactly what you're gonna need. When are you gonna get massage? What kind of massage are you getting? How are you working out? Am I adding on the third set of this exercise, am I adding 1.25 kilos or am I adding 2 kilos? Are you with me? It's like detail like that.
Yeah.
For 9 years. 2006, he won the European Championships. 2007, he won the World Championships. 2008, he won the Olympics.
Right.
And I knew when he walked into the Beijing Olympics in the arena, I knew he was winning. Because there was nothing in this world that was going to stop him.
No.
Nothing. And a guy, you probably don't know him, but since that was my little geeky world that I came from, but a guy that you probably know, Usain Bolt. How did he look when he came to the starting line before the final?
Yeah.
Was there anyone on that starting line that thought that they could beat him? They thought maybe, but inside, unconsciously, they knew he was a freaking machine.
Yeah.
Like when we play paddle.
Exactly, Kim. Just like when, exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. And you see when he's standing behind the starting point and looking at the other guys, and they're called, and the speaker called their names, and all the other ones go like, and they're like all fired up and stuff, and he just goes like I mean, it's like there is I can't lose. It's impossible to lose. If you bring in that mentality to yourself and whatever you go in and whatever you are trying to achieve, that is going to make the biggest difference in the world. I have like one thing that I'm doing with these guys with erectile dysfunction now that is connected to that. It's like I do not let them think about themselves in smaller terms. You have to see yourself wherever you're starting from. You have to be able to be butt naked in front of the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. I'm a handsome son of a gun. I'm changing, but this is my starting point, and I'm going somewhere, and I'm going to conquer this shit. I'm going. I am on my path. I'm on my way. It's not like I want to. No, you're already on your way, so that your brain already think it's almost there. So when you start to not negotiate with yourself and never trash talk to yourself, you don't do things like, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, typical me. Those are the perfect words to trash talk yourself. And you need to bring yourself up to a level where you actually respect yourself, treat yourself, and that mentality change is going to do all the difference in the world, because that's what's going to take you from A to B. And guess what comes along with that? Your business. Much nicer and easier than if you only focus on the business and then you end up at the final destination and you're trash. There's no energy. You're taking all kinds of medication. You have sleeping problems. You have a stress problem. You have a heart problem, or whatever it might be. Or you might be lucky. You won the lottery. There was nothing wrong with you. But that was because of luck, not because of a plan. Do you feel motivated?
Yes.
Do you feel like you have a plan? Because if I motivated an idiot, we only have a bunch of motivated idiots. Right? So what we need to do is really like not have the motivation. No, it's like the inside inspiration. Put that down on a piece of paper and make yourself an action plan. Because motivation alone won't lead you anywhere.
No.
It's like you're just motivated.
Make it
Basically,
plain.
you don't have to be an idiot. But I just took that because that's a famous old Jim Rohn quote. So if you take that to yourself and make an action plan for you to be in your best shape ever and to bring your business along with you, when do you start?
Now.
No.
No?
Oh, not now.
No?
No.
Secondly, what are the action steps? When it comes to that, it's no rocket science. When it comes to your business or your health, it's not like something you don't know. Right? There was one guy that I was talking to yesterday. So week 1, he got up to like taking 6,000 steps a day, which is for me, it's like, well, you barely are alive. But from a guy who's only been sitting in front of a computer, that's a lot. Now we came to week number 2. I said, now we add a 20-minute workout, because what you've been doing walking is not a workout, it's just moving. Yeah. It's not a workout, It's like, come on. So now so you mean I'm gonna walk for 40 minutes and work out for 20? How many days a week do I rest? Whenever you want to die, that's how you rest.
Yeah, exactly.
But for someone who's just going to like get back to life and survive, no, You do your 40 minutes walking, and you can do that however, whenever, like, but then you have your 20 minutes workout, simple workout, no rocket science, right? And then we're going to slowly change it. And then he goes like, but, I said,
No part.
excuse me, but that's your time to shut up. There is no buts. The only but you have is back here. Right now, it's like just, you eat what you're supposed to eat. No rocket science with the food. You know what supplements to take. You take them as accordingly. Between the meals, you just tape your mouth and shut up. But no, there is no but. In the Western world today, unless you have anorexia, you do not die because you're hungry.
No.
You don't. Hungry is not a bad feeling. We're just not used to it. Get going with your supplements. Don't be a sissy and take 2, 3. Take a lot. I would guess I drink, I'm not talking about gin, I'm talking about aloe. Let me say like at least half a liter a day. Do I need it? I don't know. Do I think it's good or do I know it's good? Yeah. But why do I drink half a liter? Because I don't feel like drinking a liter. Right? How many fish oil or Arctic Sea do I take? Well, I put some in my hand and I put it in my mouth. How many? Well, sometimes there's maybe 4, sometimes there's 8. Okay? It's like, there's nothing, no time in nature when the monkey came up to his monkey friend and said, have you had more than 1 banana today? It's like, it's like we're not like on a schedule like that. Are you with me? Actually, the reason why I said monkey is because I didn't have time. I ran late and there was stop in traffic, so I ran into a gas station and bought 3 bananas. And then someone is probably thinking, "Oh, is 3 bananas? Is that good for you?" I said, I don't know, but it's better than a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
It's like, that was lunch. And an apple. Oh, you had an apple too? Do you know how many calories that? No, and I don't give a shit. It's like, it's like food is common sense. Get the shit away. Everything that comes in a package that is processed in a factory, it's garbage. You eat vegetable, you eat fruits, you eat meat, you eat the stuff that nature makes. Period. If it comes like packaged and stuff, there's something most of the time wrong with it when it comes to food. What are you supposed to drink? Water. And every now and then, wine. Right? Beer is not that good because it increases your blood sugar level too much most of the time, which basically increases your insulin sensitivity, which increases the risk for a bunch of shit. Can I have a beer every now and then anyway? Yeah. Should I drink them often? No. It's not complicated, guys. It's not. What exercise program? Start moving. But how much? Move.
Oh, we have a tablet.
Yeah? Yeah. I mean, I mean, now I'm nerdy, of course. So I have my ring, which basically measures everything. So it's measuring like how often I breathe, my heart rate, how fast I recover from my exercises, my heart rate variability, my body temperature, how many steps I take, and everything. Why do I have that? Because I'm interested. Do I need it? No. The only thing basically for most people is that in any smartphone you have like a health app where you measure your steps. Just see that there should not be one single day under 6,000 steps, because then you're more dead than alive. If you bring them higher up, 10,000 more, fine, super. But don't worry about that so much. Just get going, get started, make things happen. Start yourself on a dead serious DX4. Dead serious. Go right into your C9, dead freaking serious. Just skip the 2 fasting days. Because now you've already been doing the fasting, right? And now you just suddenly bought yourself the 4 days plus the 9 days, right? So now you have a system to get started. Follow the system. You have it in your hands. It's in your business. And guess what happened when we use our own stuff? Woohoo! And then you continue with 15. And then you just keep on that level, wherever the level you want to go to, and then you just keep that going. Does it feel good?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Do we have like a plan
Yes.
of what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me about it when it happens?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you.